So just a quick one from me. This one concept got me profitable. And I bet most of you think I'm going to come out with some sexy advice about IFEG, entry model, order block, Reaper, whatever, right? Realistically, okay, and this is really the unsexy advice. And when I say the word, don't click off, yeah, let me finish. It's preparation, right? Specifically, overnight preparation. Okay, let me break down the process first and explain it to you. So when I go ahead and typically take a trade these days, I will know the night before if I'm taking a trade the following day, most of the time, majority of the time. And that preparation of me going ahead in my Notion journal, marking out my pre-market game plan, okay, of where I think the day might protract to. So with my specific strategy, right, and fair play, right, I understand this is a little bit strategy related. With the way I do things, okay, I'm getting behind the daily expansion 9 times out of 10. So I'm waiting for the day or the daily chart, at least, you can add in weekly as well, to look good enough for me to say, you know what, I think the next following day will expand to this FEG or this liquidity. So when we get to that point, right, in the pre-market game plan, I'll mark on where I think the day is likely to protract to, i.e. where I think the high or low of the day will form, depending if it's bearish or bullish. And where I think, or what time maybe we'll get in there based on economic calendar, based on news events. And then obviously the following day, I'll look to trade that. Now, this advice seems very, very simple and very, let's say, not impactful, right? But number one, you'd be surprised the amount of people who actually do put any preparation into their game. Okay, there's a quote about preparation that's just flashed in my mind. I know I'm not going to get it right, so I'm not going to say it. Something about preparing. If you don't prepare, you prepare to fail. Something like that. But marking out the game plan prior, right? Even if you can't cognitively understand why it works, please just try and see what you think, right? Give it a go. Come back to this video and write down, you know what? I literally went ahead. I marked out my my charts the night before where I thought the day was going to go on a specific day that I knew price was going to go, or I thought price with a high probability was going to go to a specific area, and tell me if you were able to catch that move, because this is another important thing, right? When you guys use really low time frames, what you don't understand is there's nothing wrong with using a really low time frame. It's just that you're not going to be able to make the decision quick enough in the moment. If you're sticking, for example, to the daily chart, right, and you know, cool, the following day, I know that I want to get short. Okay, I'll give you an example. All I'm then looking to do the following day is to say, cool, we've ran against the open up, and all my job is to do is to say, you know what, that point I think there is going to be high of the day. Okay, we displace a little bit. Maybe we get an IFEG, maybe we get a CSD, maybe we get an order block. And once I'm confident that the high of the day is in, all I need to do is get behind the short and ride it out and capture however much of the daily range. Okay, now you might be saying just, well, yeah, it's easy to say that, you know, like in hindsight, yeah, of course, right? You might get the bias wrong. You might get wicked out by news and then it will go in your favor. Yes, I understand. But with strong preparation, you will actually eliminate a lot of the things that could possibly go wrong. Okay, for example, let's say you just rocked up to the chart 20 minutes into London. You're like, yeah, this is a great trade, right? If you watch my prior video where I talk about biases, you might have a cognitive bias that makes you think there's a bias there, right? I'm saying bias a lot of times. That makes you think there's a trade there when there isn't one. And because you've done that preparation prior, because you've given yourself that time when you're not emotional, when you're not rushing to get a trade in London, it allows you to make better decisions. And trading as a whole is just simply put a decision-making game. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, you'll be seeing more of these in the future.